Alright, so to start our class today, the first thing that we'll want to do, alright, and this class is hands-on, so you'll want to do it with me, alright, is open up whatever web browser you want to utilize. Alright, I'm going to use Firefox for today's class. Typically Firefox and Chrome usually work the best though. Alright, we're going to go to kw.1login.com. Now, kw.1login.com or myKW.kw.com will typically take you to the exact same location, so either one is perfect in this case. Alright, so I'm on kw.1login.com, and this is how you can access your myKW backend. Alright, so on here, all you'd have to do is put inside your username. Alright, so I've got the username automatically in here. Alright, and then we just want to put inside our password as well. Now, one thing to note, if you happen to have a weird computer-generated password or anything like that, alright, we are going to show you how to change that later on. I just want to give you a heads up. Alright, so we are going to show you how to change that later on. Alright. Now, of course, if you ever forget your password, there is a forgot password option down here. And this reset email will actually send you an email over to your KW.com email directly. Alright, so just to give you a heads up, it is going to go to your KW.com email. And we're going to show you in the first part how you can access that too. And then there's also a help option down here if you need additional help. Alright, so I'm going to click that login option to log into our account real quick. Alright, and if this does pop up, I'm just going to click skip. Obviously, you can add the one login extension if you wish to, but I'm going to click skip on here. Alright, now once we do that, then it should pop up where we actually have all of our different kind of one login tools that we can utilize. Alright, so on here you're going to see we have the Career Growth Initiative, we have .loop, alright, KW eComply, KW Green Sheets, KW Intranet. Alright, so everything is in alphabetical order on here. Now what we're going to focus on is the KW Intranet section. So let's click on that KW Intranet option if this does pop up for you. Alright, so I'm going to click on KW Intranet. Alright, then this is going to take us to our intranet homepage. So this is our myKW.kw.com homepage on here. Alright, so once we're on our myKW.kw.com homepage, alright, this is what we should be seeing. Alright, we should have our profile information up here at the top left, and we're going to talk about how to get that up to 100%. We should have our e-edge control panel right here inside the middle of the screen as well. Alright, and then of course on the right hand side we have the option to view vendors, alright, then even some production info down here too. Alright, so first thing first, let's talk about this just going in counterclockwise motion. So I'm going to start at the top left up here talking about our profile. Alright, now our profile on here, alright, this is actually going to get us up to 100%, and it's going to display on KW.com. Alright, but then outside of that, if someone searches for our name, and maybe our name in Keller Williams, alright, over in Google, the profile will pop up pretty high. Alright, so we definitely want to make sure that this is set up correctly. Now this is also your White Pages profile, so this is how other agents can find you too. Alright, so just to give you a heads up. Now we are going to talk about getting our profile up to 100%. It's going to be the last thing we'll do in this first part. But then below that, you also have the option to find an agent. Alright, so if you want to find an agent on here, you're definitely more than welcome to. Alright, so under the Find an Agent section, you can actually search for any agent you might be looking for. Alright, and then it'll pop up with all their information from the White Pages as well. Alright, now there's a new referral section though that I'm going to show you very soon that you might want to utilize instead. Now below that, this little center section is going to be your production. Now if you notice on here, it says you have to run Adobe Flash, so you do need Flash on your web browser, or Flash installed on your computer in order for this to actually display. Alright, so I'm going to click on Run Adobe Flash on here, and I'll allow it real quick. Alright, then this is what our production chart should look like. Alright, looks like it's slowly loading on here. Now this is just going to be a very basic production chart for you to take a look at, but that way you can at least see, how well you're doing. Alright, so it's obviously going to display all of your information for the past 12 months. It is not, day by day or anything of that sort. Alright, it is monthly. Alright, so in this case, it's not going to be a 24-hour update. So if you notice on here, it goes all the way up to March 2018. Alright, so it doesn't have April 2018 quite yet, because today is April 24th. Alright, and obviously April hasn't ended quite yet. Alright, so once April is concluded, and they do what they call their transmittal, then this will update typically in the beginning of the beginning of May. May comes after April. All right, so in this case, you can actually see, your contracts written versus contract closed. All right, and you have listings, sales, or both on here if you want to view them. The biggest thing people want to take a look at is this kind of cap status calculator, all right, or your GCI. So not only can you see when your anniversary is, you can see what your GCI is, see how much you've obviously received, how much you've paid back to the market center. All right, and then in addition to that, you also happen to have the option for remaining on here. All right, how much might be remaining. All right, so a question just came in. You don't have production on there. So if you don't, make sure you have Flash installed on your computer and web browser. So that'll be the big thing that'll actually block this from showing for you real quick. All right, and then of course on the right-hand side, you also happen to have just a very, very, very few ratios on here. All right, very few. Now above this though, there is an option that says View Full Reports. All right, so in this case, all right, if you do actually want to view additional reports outside just the basics that are showing on here, all right, this will help out tremendously. All right, and for the person that was needing help with Flash, this might help out too. All right, just in case you need to get that re-downloaded. All right, so this is just an overview on here, and once again, you do need Adobe Flash installed and active right over on your web browser in order for it to actually display. Now above this, we also happen to have our eEdge control panel. All right, so let's talk about these 6 items up here. So the first item we're going to see is the My Leads section. All right, so under My Leads on here, these are any new leads that may have come out from the platform. All right, so whether you receive a new contact from your app, from your website, from your profile, all right, however someone may have contacted you, if you have a new lead on here, this is where it'll automatically display. So if you notice, she has 71 new leads that are listed on here. All right, now a lead is typically someone you'll want to contact immediately. Now all leads will also display under the My Contact section. All right, so if you ever hear someone say add them to your database, this is what they're talking about. All right, so on here for the My Contact section, if I click that plus sign, all right, then it'll say add new contacts or shared access. All right, the only thing you'd have to worry about to add a brand new contact is add new contacts on here. All right, once you add a new contact, all right, all you need to add them is just a first name, last name, and then some type of contact, whether it's going to be an email, phone number, or property address. And that is the bare minimum of what you actually need in order to add a contact. All right, so a question just came in. Mine shows KW Now and news in the middle, no production, leads, or office. Yeah, so in this case, make sure you download Adobe Flash. All right, and that'll help to get that installed immediately on there. All right, now you are limited on your contacts. Just to give you a heads up, you can only have up to 15,000 contacts. All right, so you can only have 15,000 contacts on here. All right, but then in addition to that, all right, you can also send out 5,000 emails each month. All right, 5,000 emails each month. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up on that one too. All right. So the next thing we're going to see on here is the My Marketing section. All right, so under My Marketing, if we click the plus sign on here, we can actually view all of our different marketing pieces that are available on here. All right, so all different marketing pieces. All right, and for the people having a couple issues as well, oh, did not mean to do that, with the little production chart on here, if you do have Adobe Flash installed, you may have to activate it over on your web browser. So if you're using Chrome on here, all right, it looks like a lot of people are having that. All right, so if you're using Chrome on here, all right, that'll help. And then if you're using Firefox, this will help as well. Yep, and the Market Center news, it'll always say unavailable at this time. It's been saying that for a couple years now, so I wouldn't pay attention to that one. All right, but once we click the plus sign next to My Marketing on here, then this is where we can access all of our different marketing pieces. All right, so as you can see, we can actually create our marketing materials. We can manage and create our own campaigns on here. All right, or there are a plethora of other items we can actually utilize, including managing our eEdge website. So you'll actually have 2 websites with KW, and you can choose which one you want to use. All right, I'm going to show you where to access the newer one, but if you want to access the eEdge website, that's available on here too. All right, now below that, you're going to have your My Email section. All right, now the My Email section on here is pretty much what it sounds like. All right, this is going to be your eEdge email. All right. So with that being said, if you ever send out any type of email from the platform, all right, then this will automatically come back over here if they reply to it. Now you can actually set up your marketing reply to emails to go to your preferred email instead. But if someone sends an email over to your eEdge email, this is the inbox for it. So I just want to give you a heads up. Now agents typically won't utilize the eEdge email outside of just having to send out from it on the CRM back here. All right, we're going to talk about that a little bit heavier in the second and third part. But if anyone ever sends an email directly to your eEdge email, this is where it would display. Now myTransactions is going to be your .loop account. All right, so if you're looking to create a listing or buyer contract, or maybe just a transaction in that case, all right, this is where you'd want to start. All right, so if your office is utilizing .loop, this will help out tremendously. All right, now with that being said on here, we don't talk about .loop in this class. All right, we actually have a .loop 101 and 201 class that happen the first and fourth Thursday of each month. All right, so this Thursday we're actually going to have a .loop 201 class. All right, just because .loop in itself is a class all alone. All right, so be on the lookout for that. Or, of course, you can rewatch those .loop 101 and 201 classes 24/7 on ScottLeroyMarketing.com. All right, so the cool thing about .loop, though, is everything is now an e-transaction. Everything is now online. All right, so the best part is you can actually send off any type of document for someone to fill out, and they can click to sign it. It'll automatically come back over to you. All right, then you actually don't even have to meet them in person to get them to fill anything out on pen and paper. All right, everything is now electronic. All right, then if you're like me on here and you'd like to have tasks of what you need to do each day, all right, this may help out tremendously. All right, so under the My Action Plan section, all right, these are different tasks that you'll need to do for a buyer, for a seller, for an open house, all right, whatever it might be. Now you can create your own task as well, your own task templates. All right, but I just want to give you a heads up on here. This is where you can actually access different tasks or reminders of what you need to do. All right, so that is just kind of a very brief nutshell overview of the eEdge control panel. Now at the bottom left down here, you also happen to have the My Market Center intranet. All right, the My Market Center intranet is the intranet for your office only. Sorry, I'm hiccuping over here. All right, your office only. So if I clicked on this, it would actually take me to the intranet for Office 513 over in Vancouver, Washington. All right, so this is going to be a place that'll have your office training calendar. It'll have different documents your office has uploaded, a place where you can actually post out other items for your office, agents or staff to view. All right, so it's only for internal purposes. That's the good part about it. All right. Now, one thing that we can all do right now is I do want to hover over education in the black bar, so feel free to do this with me. All right, we're going to go to KW Connect, that first option down. All right, KW Connect, that first option down on here. All right. Now, once we click on KW Connect, this is actually going to be our portal backend of all of our different training options. It's going to be different documents we can utilize. All right, plenty of different items on here. All right, so once I click on KW Connect on here, there we go. All right. So as you can see, this is just a back-end access for us to actually utilize pretty much any type of training that may have been uploaded, any type of documents for training. All right, so it's kind of a little social media back-end just for Keller Williams agents, staff, anyone KW related. All right, so as you can notice, there's obviously a scrolling banner on here too. All right, and then of course we can also search for courses, videos, users, and so much more. All right, or we can actually view different, all right, looks like down here something new from KW Luxury International is just posted. All right, different videos that have just recently been posted out here too. All right, so it's pretty cool how we can actually view everything on here. All right, and you'll actually see a good amount of people that post a lot. I know this guy Eric up here posts all the time. All right, so you can actually go through here and search for anything you might be looking for. So maybe you're looking for Ignite information. You can type Ignite. All right, you can also search for 33 Touch if you want to learn more about the 33 Touch campaign. All right, you can view different membership options. You can view the calendar, which will be your training calendar for your office along with the region. All right, you can view different resources that are available, including KW Connect Live, which are live webinars, very similar to this one. All right, you can actually view culture, events, industry, Keller Mortgage. Obviously, one of the biggest ones I like to highlight is the technology section. All right, you can ask agents questions as well in case you just want to ask anyone at KW a question. All right, and then we have Ask Kelly and My Referrals. So I'm going to click on Ask Kelly real quick. All right, so let's click on Ask Kelly. Now, Kelly is the new AI software. All right, it's the new AI software. All right, that just launched at Family Reunion. All right, this is kind of your little, I guess, personal assistant. All right, as you can see, start using Kelly to run your business. All right, so Kelly is currently in beta test for a good amount of items, but obviously it's growing. It's been out for about 2 months now. So if you want to download Kelly, it's completely free. That's the good part about it. All you have to do is go to the App or Play Store. All right, obviously App if you have an iPhone, Play Store if you have an Android. All right, and then you can download Kelly immediately. All right, just search for Kelly, K-E-L-L-E, and it should pop up. It's going to be a little blue square with a white KW on it. But as you can see, just a couple things that you can actually do right now with Kelly. You can build your referral network that we're going to talk about next. You can check what's on your schedule. All right, you can ask questions on here. All right, you can track your CGI goals, view the latest red reports. You can stay updated on events. All right. So it's pretty cool as you can actually utilize Kelly immediately. So it'll show you, number 1, get the app. All right, number 2, log in. And the good part is the login for it. It says log in with your KW Connect credentials. You'll actually log in with your myKW.KW.com username and password that we use to access myKW. All right, and then get started. All right, literally right on here, you can just start asking your questions. Very similar to Siri or Alexa. All right, but what I always like to tell people is, in comparison to Siri or Alexa, all right, Kelly is obviously very, very new, so she doesn't know as much as Siri or Alexa quite yet. All right, so the more questions that you ask her, the more that she becomes knowledgeable and grows. All right, so they always say kind of treat her like a 2-year-old because she's constantly growing and learning more. All right, so in this case, I would definitely suggest downloading Kelly and start to utilize it because it'll help you out. All right, the biggest thing I would utilize it for is just checking the schedule and building a referral network. And very soon, it's going to link up with your CRM too. All right, which is the cool part about it. All right, now outside of Kelly, obviously we were talking about the My Referral section. Now this is the main place where you'll probably want to go to the referral section so you can actually go through and update this immediately. All right, so once I click on the My Referral section on here, all right, then as you can see, we can actually view all of our different referrals. All right, so with that being said on here, all right, as you can see, we have all of our waiting responses, any inbound referrals or outbound referrals. We can actually send a referral on here too. All right, in addition to that, we can actually go through, all right, even further down here, we can view who's in our referral network. We can even click on the Grow My Network option as well. Now, one thing to note on here, and what I always tell people is when you are utilizing the referral section, please, 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 all right, treat this the way that Facebook should have been treated and only add people, all right, only add people on here that you wish to actually have inside your referral business. All right, so only add people that maybe you've gone through and you've actually connected with. All right, or only add people in this case that you actually know. All right, don't just go through and go crazy and add everybody. All right, so with that being said on here, if I click on Grow My Network, I can actually go through and I can search for different market centers around the country. All right, so say if I want to go over, I'm just going to click one up here. Go inside Idaho. So we got East Idaho, office 875. All right, so if I click on East Idaho, then I can actually come through here and view it randomly. All right, or I can actually sort by, first name, last name, closed units, listings sold, buy side, leases. All right, but the cool part is not only can you see all the information for the past 12 months, All right, you could automatically invite them to your network. All right, you can send them a referral. All right, or you can click down here and view their contact information and email too. Now, the reason I always suggest taking a look at this, all right, so there's a great way to actually send out referrals, because what I always tell agents, specifically newer agents, is usually your first close or your first closing, whether it's on the buyer or seller side, is going to come from someone you know. Now with the referral section, this is going to make your life even easier, because now you can get back in touch with people that might not live around you. All right, so now instead of thinking locally, you can start to think, nationally. All right, so in this case, maybe you happen to have a brother or sister that moved out to California and you're over here in Florida where I am. Well, you can contact them and say, hey, if you're ever thinking about buying or selling, contact me first so I can put you in touch with a good real estate agent to utilize. All right, so that way you can actually refer them someone. I always tell people 25% is always better than 0%, or whatever the percentage might be. All right, so this is just a very basic overview of how you can access the My Referral section, and feel free to play around with it. All right, and then of course you also happen to have the growth section on here. All right, now this is going to be for your career growth initiative. All right, the CGI brings laser focus to the activities that lead to results. All right, so with that being said on here, you'll typically need to meet up with your MCA. All right, once you meet up with your MCA, all right, then they'll actually be able to go through, all right, in this particular case, set up your different CGI goals, whether it's for the month, for the year, whatever it might be. Typically it's for the month. All right, so in this case, you can actually have your CGI goals set up, and then you can see what you need to do in order to reach your goal. All right, whether it's your profit goal or how many people you want to actually help buy or sell, all right, whatever it might be. All right, now this will help you to stay up to date and track everything. Just a little easy tracker for you to see how well you're doing. All right, so be on the lookout for a class with the office, because the Market Center administrator will need to help out with that right away. All right, so I'm going to hop back over to the myKW homepage. So I'm going to hop out of KW Connect real quick. All right, and once we're back over on the myKW homepage, another thing I'd like to take a look at is under the marketing section. Now under marketing, two things, I'm not going to click on them, but two things I like to show you guys are the logos and branding. So if you ever need any KW logos, or even your Market Center logo, all right, could potentially be on here, you can access that under logos and branding. All right, so with that being said, once you click on logos and branding on here, all right, then that'll automatically allow you to view all the different Market Center logos that are available, or all the different KW logos that are available too. All right, it's going to come in a bunch of different options, including PNG, JPEG, different color options. All right, and more importantly, you also have the Photoshop option too. All right, so I just want to give you guys a heads up on that one. All right. And then, of course, right below that, we also happen to have Business Basics. Now, much like this sounds, it is the basics of what you'll actually utilize for your business. All right, this is not to be confused with the other marketing pieces that are currently available for you. All right, so please utilize the My Marketing section for marketing pieces, but for Business Basics, this is just going to be very basic items. The biggest thing that agents will look for on here is letterhead. All right, if you need letterhead, please look under, obviously, Business Basics section on here, and this will help out tremendously. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up on that. All right. Yeah, the next thing we're going to do, and the final thing we'll do under this little black bar up here, is we're going to hover over technology real quick. All right, and there are a couple things we're going to take a look at under technology. The first thing we're going to take a look at is approximately that third option down that's going to say KW websites. All right, so let's go to that third option down on here. All right, so we're going to go to that third option down real quick. All right, now the KW websites on here is actually going to talk a little bit more about your Playster website. All right, so just to give you a heads up on that one. So it's going to talk about your Playster site in this case. All right, so once I click on KW websites, all right, if yours currently looks like this, all right, if yours currently looks like this on here, oh, didn't click over. There we go. Sometimes I have to click mine twice in order for it to pop up. All right, so if yours currently looks like this and it says your KW agent website, but then it says your new website is ready, go to my website, fantastic. All right, that means that you are all good to go. That's perfect. That's what we want to see. All right, so just to give you a heads up on here. All right, so of course, if you have this little red button, you can actually click on go to my website, and then you can access the back end immediately. Now, just to give you a heads up, if it does not say that your new website is ready, it might say that it's still being created. All right, there are a couple things you'll actually have to do in order to have this created right away. All right, number one, you have to have an active KW.com email, which is what we're going to talk about very, very soon. All right, number two, your office will need to add your MLS ID to the white pages for this to launch immediately. All right. Alright, but I just want to show you where you can access your Playster site in case you want to play around with it. And then, of course, tomorrow we're going to have a Playster 101 class. Alright, this Wednesday. Cool. Alright, so on here, we're going to have a Playster class this Wednesday at 1 p.m. that'll actually go over the basics of the entire Playster platform. Alright. So with that being said on here, the next thing we're going to do is hover over technology. All right, now I'm going to go to KWLS, approximately that fourth option down. All right, KWLS. All right, now this is going to stand for the Keller-Williams listing system. All right, the KW listing system. All right, and with that being said on here, whenever you have an active listing, you will want your listing in the KWLS as soon as possible. So here we go. All right, so you want it in here as soon as possible. Come on. Found out if you ever hover your cursor over, you have to double click on it. All right, so I'm going to maximize this window real quick so we can actually view everything. All right, so when taking a look at this, this is what our KWLS is going to look like. So here's a great example. All right, so first thing first, we're going to see our listings at a glance up here. So you can see all initiated, submitted, accepted, returned, or just all listings in general. Now, in order for your listings to actually be pushed out to Zillow, Truly, and all the other websites, all right, they will need to be accepted. All right, so on here, as you can see, this says accepted, so that is perfect. All right, now on the right-hand side, you can also see your listing data. All right, so you can actually view how many active listings you have, how many expired. She has one that's TNC, all right, or if there are any other types of statuses, it'll automatically display on here. So in theory, her 3 listings that are active should automatically start to display out on Zillow, Truly, and all the different websites. All right, but another big thing to take a look at, and not everyone's going to have this. I just want to make sure that is known. Not everyone will have this. But at the bottom down here, we have the single point of entry option. All right, so under single point of entry, all right, this is where you can actually activate your List Hub account to link up with your KWLS. All right, so if your office is a subscriber of List Hub and they have what they call the KW connector, then you'll have this little checkbox on here. All you'll need to do is put a check inside that box, and when you have an active listing in the MLS, it'll automatically start to funnel over to the KWLS. All right, so you won't have to worry about adding it to the MLS and the KWLS manually. All right, so if you have this little option over here, just make sure there's a check inside that box. Now, some offices have a different program called single entry listing. All right, so if you have single entry listing, that is no problem at all. All right, you can obviously go through and add their listing in that back end too. All right, or if your office is not subscribed to List Hub or single entry listing, it's okay. All right, there's a create a listing option up here at the very, very top. All right, so for the create a listing option, you can access that immediately to create a listing right away. All right, so I know some agents actually create the listing as a coming soon listing before it's on the MLS, so that way you can start to actually push out to Zillow, Truly, and those other websites too. All right, so that's always an option as well. So I always just want to show you the KWLS because at the end of the day, if your listings are not going out to Zillow or Trulia, this is usually where you want to check because it's the #1 culprit of what might be blocking it. All right, so that way you can actually see, hey, is my listing active? hasn't been active for 24 hours. All right. If something hasn't been updated, maybe we want to check the back end of the listing on here. All right. So I'm going to X out of this real quick. All right. And under that technology black bar up here, obviously we have the green sheet section. This is how you can actually get paid. All right. Hopefully paid at the closing is what obviously you want to shoot for. So whenever you have gone through .loop, you've gotten all the contracts signed, everything is set to close. All right. You will need to fill out a green sheet. All right. This is going to go over to your MCA just for compliance purposes. All right. It's basically going to talk about, what the commission is, what the split is, the property address. All right, very basic information. All right, it shouldn't take more than 5 to 10 minutes at the most to fill out a green sheet. All right, and then of course, if you want to change your myKW password, there's a change password option on here too. Now, if you want to change that password, the password has to be between 5 and 20 characters. Did I say 5? Sorry. 8 and 20 characters. I don't know why I said 5. 8 and 20 characters with an uppercase letter, lowercase letter, and at least one number. All right, so 8 to 20 characters with an uppercase letter, lowercase letter, and at least one number. All right, so if you want to change your myKW password, all right, this is where you can actually go through. Now, the final thing we're going to go over, though, under the technology section before we actually get back to our home page for our profile, all right, is going to be KW email. So let's go and click on that KW email option real quick. All right. Now, this is where you can set up your KW.com email, but it's not where you'll actually use it. All right. Your KW email is actually a Gmail account. I'm going to show you how you can sign into that very soon. All right. So once I click on KW email, as you can see, it says KW Google Apps for Business Email. All right. Brand yourself as a Keller Williams Realty agent by signing up for a KW.com email address. All right. They say processing can take about 24 to 48 hours. It's typically instantaneous now. All right. They made it instantaneous about a year and a half ago. But the cool part about the KW.com email is you actually get 30 gigabytes of online storage. All right, so you get 30 gigabytes of online storage on here. All right, so that's the best part about it. All right. Now, of course, if you need to sign up on this, you can just click the sign up option at the very top up here. All right, and if you do need to set up your KW.com email, just click sign up and it'll actually walk you through the steps to activate this immediately. All right, it'll give you different emails that are available for you to use right away. All right, or it'll even give you the option where you can go through and basically choose your own email. Now, the email will typically need to be between 4 and 20 characters. I think they said recently it says 4 to 16, but the back end says 4 to 20. All right, and the email has to be all lowercase letters. All right, you can't have any uppercase letters, but you can use dashes, dots, underscores, numbers. All right, and as long as no one else has that email, you are more than welcome to have it. Now, there are a slew of words you can't use in the email. All right, you can't use real estate, you can't use realtor, you can't use realty, you can't use real estate agent, you can't use agent, you can't use RE unless those are your initials, KW unless those are your initials, MCA, once again, unless they're your initials. All right, so there are a bunch of different words that you won't be able to utilize. Another one you can't use is admin. I just learned that one yesterday. All right. But if you have set up your KW.com email, all right, then you can actually click on the Manage Your KW Email option instead. All right. So, of course, if you need to sign up for one, feel free to click the Sign Up option on here real quick. All right, but I'm going to click on Manage Your KW Email right below that so we can actually see the back end and what we can manage from here. Now, you won't be able to manage too much from your KW.com email from here because obviously that KW.com email is a Gmail account. All right, but at the end of the day, you can change your password from here, and that's one thing I definitely want you guys to know. All right, you can change your password. All right, so with that being said, I can actually view what email I currently have set up. All right, and then if you want to, you can actually set up alias emails. The alias emails will automatically forward over to your primary email address. All right, so if you want to give those out too, that's an option as well. All right, below that, you also happen to have the forwarding option to see if anything is set up for forwarding. All right, so in this case, as you can see, she currently has her email set up to forward over to Lori at theguideforrealestategroup.com. All right, but then if we scroll down, this is where you can change your password. This is probably one of the top 5 questions we receive, is how do we change our KW.com email password? Because most people will go to gmail.com and click the Forgot Password option, which is, what you would think you would do. All right, But since KW is actually the administrator of the email, all right, they would have to change it. So they gave you the ability to change it on your own back here. All right, so in this case, you can actually put inside what you'd prefer as your password and confirm it, and then click Save to update that immediately. All right, much like the myKW password, same criteria. All right, 8 to 20 characters, uppercase letter, lowercase letter, and at least one number. All right, now in order to sign into this KW.com email, it's extremely simple, which is the good part. All right, so if I go over to Gmail, I'll go to gmail.com. I'll click the sign in option like I'm signing into it, just a Gmail account. Instead, I'm going to type inside my myKW.com email. All right, so I just typed in the KW.com email. I'll click that next option on here. Type inside my password as well. And then I'm in. All right, and if you notice, this is literally a Gmail account. All right, nothing different. All right, that won't pop up. That's a plugin I have. All right, so this is the Gmail account. So at the end of the day, anything that you can do in Gmail, you're going to have the same functionality on here. All right, so as you can see, I can actually compose an email. I can view my inbox. I can view my sent emails, my drafts. All right, further down, it looks like I have the option to view my spam, my trash. All right, up here, I can actually view my contacts or my tasks. All right, obviously, I've got my settings. So if you've ever been in a Gmail account, this is going to look identical. All right, the only difference is you're now going to have 30 gigabytes of online storage, so you can store even more items on Google Drive or even more email. All right, so that's the good part about it. Now, the reason I like to tell you guys the KW.com email is a Gmail account is if you wish to utilize this over on your iPhone, on your Android, on your tablets, whatever it might be, you will set this up the exact same way you'd set up a Gmail account. All right, literally the exact same way. So there you go. All right, so I'm going to X out of that real quick. And what we need to do now is hop back over to our home page so that way I can show you how to get your profile up to 100% to make sure that it's fully optimized. All right, so I'm going to make sure that is fully optimized on here. Now, in order to get over to our home page, all right, if you ever see this black bar at the very top up here, all right, you have 3 ways to get back to the home page. Option number 1 is we can click that myKW logo at the top left. All right, option number 2 is you can click the home button. Now, if you click the home button, that'll actually take you directly back over to the home page, but it'll also open up a brand new window. All right, so open up a brand new window in this case. All right, or sorry, not a new window, but a new tab. I could open up a new window. It's usually a new tab. So if you need to stay on the page that you're currently on, but you want to go back to the home page, that's an option. All right, or try and true method. Just type inside mykw.kw.com in the address bar. All right. So with that being said, let's go and click on that profile option up here at the top left so that way we can edit our profile even further. All right, so let's click that profile option at the top left up here. All right, now this is going to help us not only get our profile up to 100%, but also to go through and make sure that when someone searches for, obviously, you know, geez, our name on Google, or our name and Keller Williams on Google, all right, this is going to pop up relatively high. All right, so that's the good part about this. All right, so I'm going to click on profile real quick. All right, now once we do that, it's going to take us over to our contact information comparison page. All right, our contact information comparison page. Now, in the back end of our contact information comparison page, we're going to have 4 options on here. All right, option number 1 is we're going to have this little myKW info section. All right, now under the myKW info section, all right, we would not need to worry about pretty much anything on here because this is going to give us a good amount of information we'll need to get up to 100%, but not everything. All right, now under the My Leads section, that's actually going to be for your app. All right, so we're going to talk about that in the very beginning of our second part. All right, the other section for my referrals is everything we'll need to get up to 100%. All right, everything that we will need on here. All right, and then of course, finally, we have the IDX management section. All right, so under IDX management on here, all right, this is where we can actually see how to set up the WolfNet IDX. Now, we don't talk about that in this class, just because for the IDX management, that's a whole different ball game. All right, IDX management in this case is, based on your board. All right, so with that being said, we don't really talk about that because obviously it's completely different for everybody. All right, so let's click the edit option under other my referrals so we can check on this even further. All right. All right, now once we click on that edit option on here, here we go. All right, so that's going to take us right to the back end where we can view everything on here. All right, so I'm going to zoom in real quick. There we go, that's perfect. All right, so that way we can actually view this a little bit further on here. All right, so with that being said, I'm going to go through everything that you'll need in order to get this up to 100%. All right, everything you'll need on here. All right. So first thing we're actually going to see is our team name. All right, so under team name on here, all right, this is not part of 100%, but if you want to add that inside, you're definitely more than welcome to. All right. So of course, if you're on a team or if you happen to have a team name that you want to utilize, all right, you're definitely more than welcome to. All right. Now, right below that, we are going to have our specialties. And of course, I know we're going very, very slow. So if you are skipping ahead, please skip over city service areas. Just trust me on that one. All right, but under specialties, you can actually put inside what you wish to specialize in. All right, so completely up to you in this case. All right. So with that being said, if you want to add inside different specialties similar to what we see on here, like residential, short sale, foreclosures, luxury homes, new construction, land, bank owned, all right, you're definitely more than welcome to. All right, please put a comma and a space between each of the different specialties on here. All right, because at the end of the day, that'll help out tremendously because this will display in a straight line. All right, so feel free to add inside any specialty that you want to. Now, you can also add specialties outside of this, just to give you a heads up. All right, so if you want to add specialties that you specialize in, say for instance, in marketing or just outside of real estate, you can add that in too. All right, you never know why someone's going to contact you. All right. Now, right below that, we're going to have our designations. Now, designations are obviously going to be different designations that, well, you're a part of. All right. So in this case, if you have any designations, all right, you're definitely more than welcome to. All right, you can add inside whatever you want on here. All right. And if you don't happen to have any designations, you can just put inside real estate agent, real estate salesperson, realtor. All right, you can put in a couple different designations on here. Now, if you do happen to have any designations outside of real estate, right, that's no problem at all. All right, none at all. All right, you can actually put that in. So maybe you might have a designation or, geez, I don't know, maybe you happen to have, I don't know, maybe like I've got a BBA. So I technically have a degree in marketing. So I might want to put BBA on here because once again, someone else might be looking at my profile and notice they have a BBA too. All right, and that's why they want to contact me. All right, so completely up to you in this case. All right. All right. Now below that, you also have to have your slogan section. Now for the slogan, you can put inside whatever your slogan might be. All right. Of course, if you want to change this out, you're definitely more than welcome to. Now, once again, even if your profile is at 100%, it's always nice to go back over everything just to search for it. So while you're doing that, I just want to give you an idea as to how this will pop up. All right, because if I go to google.com and I search, say for Lori Godfrey, and type in Keller Williams. All right, if you notice, her profile is the #1 thing that pops up on here. All right, now if I'm in her area and I type in Lori Godfrey, it might actually pop up a little bit higher. I don't know if it'll pop up right away on the home page on here. All right, that's okay. All right, but if I search Lori Godfrey, Keller Williams on here, maybe even KW, it's #1 for me. All right, so this is going to pop up pretty high because it has the KW.com SEO. All right, so that's why you really want to make sure this is completely optimized. All right, so you can add inside whatever slogan you want to, and of course, all this information is customizable. You can change this at any time. It's completely up to you. Now, we are going to skip over city service areas. That's going to be the last thing we'll actually do on here. All right, we're going to do that, and then we're going to take a break. All right, so let's scroll down a little bit further. All right, to languages spoken. Now, if you speak any languages outside of English, fantastic. All right, you can actually go through and add that in. All right. Now, if you are going to add inside another language on here, though, make sure that you hold down another button before you click on the language. All right, so if you're on a PC, make sure you hold down the control button. All right, so I'm on a PC, so I'm going to hold down control, and then I'll select Chinese, for instance. All right, now once I hold down control and I select Chinese, if you notice, both of them are selected. If you're on a Mac, please hold down the command option, right, or the CMMD button. All right, because then that'll automatically allow you to select multiple options. All right, now if I'm on a PC or if I'm on a Mac and I don't hold down the control or command respectively, look what happens. All right, as you can see, English goes away. Now these languages are in alphabetical order, so feel free to scroll up and down in order to view this. All right, and that'll help out tremendously so you can add inside other languages you speak, because people can search for languages that you speak whenever they're on KW.com looking for an agent. All right. Now below that, we're going to have our website, and we're actually going to talk about that in the very beginning of our second part, so we can leave that be for the time being. All right, but then we're going to have referral notes. Please put inside the actual, referral percentage you'd like to utilize, or something very generic like this, where it says, yes, I accept referrals, please contact for more information. All right, just to give kind of a little vague response of, yes, please feel free to contact me, I can definitely help out. All right. And I usually suggest putting that inside there, because if you don't have anything in your referral section, then you actually won't display under the agent referral section on the myKW homepage. All right, not over on the referral section on KW Connect, that's the new referral section, but in case someone's searching the white pages. Now, you don't need anything for loss mitigation resume, so we can leave that blank for the time being. All right, but scrolling down a little bit further, we're going to have our headshot. We're going to come back to that very soon. All right, but then we're going to have our first name, last name, and our username. Now, for the first name and the last name, you can put inside whatever your first and last name may be. All right, so if you happen to go by a different first or last name, or maybe you happen to have a name that you go by instead, like you go by your middle name, all right, feel free to update that. All right, now you can also change your username for myKW as well. All right, so obviously the username for myKW is typically going to be the first initial of your first name, your last name, and then typically a number as well. All right, depending on how generic your last name might be, or not generic, but how common it might be, I guess is a better way of saying it. All right, so she has Godfrey, so it's not as common of a last name, so she is L. Godfrey. Now, if she wanted to change that to something else, she definitely can. All right, you can change it to whatever you want to as long as it's all connected, all right, and no one else has it. All right, so if she tried to change this to Lori, I can guarantee someone else probably already has Lori. All right, so you can update that at any time. All right, and then you're also going to have your street 1, street 2, city, state, and zip. All right, so please, please, please put on here your office address. Do not put your home address. All right, at the end of the day on here, this is not going to display to the public, but it will display to other KW agents to actually view in the white pages. All right, so unless you are intent on other KW agents viewing your home address, I would highly suggest putting inside your office address only. All right, and of course, this can be changed at any time, so if you happen to get a P.O. box later on, or maybe a different office location, or you can update this too. All right, and the same thing goes for business and mobile phone. You do need business and mobile phone in order to get up to 100%. All right, you don't need home phone in order to get up to 100% though. You can add it inside if you'd like to, but you're not required. All right, so under business phone and mobile phone on here, I usually suggest adding inside a direct line of contact. All right, whether it's your cell phone number, whether it's your office line with your extension, all right, whatever it might be. On your KW.com profile that displays to the public, the office phone number, all right, your market center phone number will automatically display. All right, so I'd rather have 2 of the 3 phone numbers going back to you directly because these people are on your website. All right, and obviously at the end of the day, you deserve to get the lead. All right, so I usually suggest putting inside business phone and mobile phone. All right, in this case, just putting inside, obviously, a direct line of contact, whether it's going to be your personal cell phone number, all right, or your office line with an extension too. All right, now right below that, we also happen to have our mobile carrier. For mobile carrier, all right, as you can see, don't miss another lead. Complete the mobile phone, mobile carrier fields to be eligible to receive text messages regarding your listings from mobile.kw.com. All right, so it's pretty specific as to what it actually does. All right, but in this case, in addition to receiving information whenever you get a brand new lead under the My Lead section, all right, this will help out tremendously, so then you'll actually be notified even quicker if someone's on mobile.kw.com looking at your listing. All right, so all you have to do is put inside your cell phone number without any dashes, dots, or spaces. All right, so your cell phone number without any dashes, dots, or spaces, all 10 digits. All right, and then you would select your mobile carrier from the drop-down list. Now, this is a newer option. Let me scroll down real quick so we can see a little bit better. But they do also happen to have on here Google Voice. All right, so if you happen to a Google Voice phone number, you can actually utilize that now. All right, previously, they did not allow VoIP phone number, voice over IP. All right, so in this case, they now have Google Voice as an option too. All right, so if you don't want to use your actual cell phone number using Google Voice, that's an option as well. All right, now just go ahead and select the carrier that you believe is correct. So she's got AT&T, so maybe it was AT&T formerly Singular. All right, then all she'd have to do is click the Validate option on the right-hand side. All right, and once you click Validate, very similar to this little green rectangle that's popping up, all right, it says then click the Validate button. KW will instantly send your phone a keyword. Please check your mobile phone for the keyword and type the keyword in the White Pages field as prompted. All right, now the keyword that'll come over to your cell phone is usually one of the WI4C2TS's. All right, or it could also be the word Keller. All right, so we've seen it as win-win, integrity, commitment, trust, teamwork. All right, all the different items in that. All right. Now the first letter will be capitalized, except for win-win, both W's are capitalized. All right, so it is slightly case sensitive, so just make sure you put inside that capitalization on there. All right. Now, of course, once that is completed and you have everything set up, yours should look like this. It should have a cell phone number, it should have your mobile carrier, and it should say Reset Mobile Carrier. Now, sometimes it can take a little bit of time for, obviously, the text message to come over. All right, so if it does not come over immediately, no worries. All right, hopefully, once we save this at the very, very bottom, it'll pop up by then. So then you'll be all good to go. All right. So moving down real quick, we're going to have fax, country, gender, salutation. Fax is not part of 100%. All right. But of course, obviously, if you want to add that in, you're definitely more than welcome to. All right, and then of course gender, country, salutation. All right, feel free to fill that out. I think you guys will be more than okay to fill that out on your own. And while you guys are doing that, I'm going to zoom out on this bio on here. All right, so I'm going to zoom out on the bio while you guys are filling that out. All right. Alright, so with that being said on here, under the bio section, you can actually put inside whatever bio you would prefer. Alright, whatever bio you would like. Alright. Now, I usually suggest putting inside a bio that's maybe, 1 to 3 paragraphs. Alright, and typically in the 1 to 3 paragraph section, alright, I would add inside during this bio. Alright, obviously go through and maybe talk about what you've done as a previous real estate agent. Alright, or what you're intent on doing. As you can see, she talks about, as an experienced realtor, I can bring my clients the very best professional real estate marketing. All right. And the second paragraph, maybe talk about what you've done previously that'll make you a great real estate agent. So she talks about her professional journey. All right. And then, of course, in the final paragraph, it's kind of a toss-up. I usually suggest talking about maybe something personal so they can connect with you a little bit further. She talks about how referrals are the lifeblood of her business success. All right. So completely up to you in this case. All right. You can add inside whatever you want to. Alright, now with that being said, I'm going to put inside our chat section over here where you can actually find her profile in case you want to take a look at it even further. Alright, and then also on our website, we have some bio tips too. Alright, to kind of help you guys out. Alright, now for the time being, obviously you can put coming soon inside the bio, as this is going to account for about 5% of your 100% profile. Right. But of course, if you want to re-access this bio later on, obviously we could spend 20-30 minutes just writing a bio on its own. But if you just want to put something like coming soon in here real quick, just to spotlight that, that's more than perfect. And then obviously you can add inside your new bio later on too. Alright, now right below that is the display URL for KW.com. Now the display URL for KW.com on here, if it's not part of 100%, but if you don't have something added in here, alright, then you will actually not display on KW.com when someone's searching for an agent. Alright, so in this case, you definitely want to add that inside. Now, what we typically suggest adding inside is, much like it says under strong, right, adding in a hyphen or a dash, which will be the best for SEO. Alright, or search engine optimization, which is basically how you're found under different search engines, particularly Google. Alright, so what I usually suggest is putting inside your first name hyphen last name. Alright, if you are using a team name, obviously you can put the team name on here, but I would suggest putting a hyphen between each word. Alright, or you can put inside whatever you would prefer on here. Alright, but this will help out tremendously, because when people are searching for your name, this will pop up pretty high too. Alright, now once again, this is not part of 100%, but you do need this set up in order to actually populate on KW.com. Alright, now below that, you do also happen to have the Facebook URL, Twitter, and blog. Now you do need these three in order to get up to 100%, so I'm going to show you what you can put in for the time being in case you just want to put in some filler material. Alright, so under the Facebook URL section on here, even though it asks for a URL, you actually want what comes after facebook.com/. Alright, so if you're on your Facebook page or profile, so if you just go to your Facebook account and you're actually viewing it like you're about to post something out, so I'll go to my page real quick. Alright, so facebook.com/ScottLeroy. Alright, so if I came on here, then all I would actually need is just to copy Scott Leroy Marketing up here. Alright, and then we'll be all good to go. Alright, that's all we would have to do in this case. Alright, so of course all you have to do is just sign into your Facebook account, go to the page like you're actually viewing it like a client would, and then just look at the URL up here. Now if you don't happen to have a Facebook account right now, you can always put inside Keller Williams Realty. Alright, that is always an option on here as well. Alright, so completely up to you. All right. Now for Twitter handle, username, pretty much going to be synonymous in this case. So you can put inside your Twitter username with or without the @ sign. All right, now if I put it in without the @ sign, that's perfectly fine. Or you can just go to twitter.com/ your profile name, and then that's what you'll put inside. All right, so if I went over to my Twitter account, it's twitter.com/ScottLMarketing. I should just make it SL Marketing. All right, and then all I'd have to do is just copy this right up here. And once I copy it, we'll be all good to go. All right, now if you don't happen to have a Twitter account, all right, you can always put inside KWRI on here as well. All right, just for Keller Williams Realty International. All right, so that's another way you can actually link this up on here. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up. All right, now the blog on here is actually going to be a blog. All right, so it's actually going to be a URL on here if you can actually think about that. All right, this is the one thing that's actually a URL. All right, so with that being said on here, all right, what I typically suggest is putting inside whatever URL you want to. All right, completely up to you in this case. All right, so you can put inside whatever URL you would prefer. All right, now as long as you have that HTTP, you'll be golden. So if you want to put inside your own website, all right, you definitely can. If you want to go through and maybe you actually want to add inside your Instagram account, you can do that too. All right, there are plenty of different ways where you can actually update all of this. All right, so completely up to you. All right, so with that being said, if you want to put inside a blog on here though, you can always put inside blog.kw.com. All right, and then you'll be golden. All right, so completely up to you. All right. So of course, once again for Facebook URL, you want what comes after facebook.com/. So in this case, Keller Williams Realty if you don't happen to have one. There you go. For Twitter handle, username, you'll want basically whatever your username is with or without the @ sign. So if you don't happen to have one, KWRI works perfect. All right, and then for the blog URL on here, all right, you can put inside a basic blog like http://blog.kw.com. All right, or you can literally put inside any URL that you want to. All right, so I'm going to put back in her blog on here. All right. Now, YouTube, Google+, and LinkedIn are not part of 100%, so we're going to skip over that. So if you want to add inside a YouTube video or your Google+ URL or LinkedIn URL, all right, feel free to follow just obviously what comes after the slashes on here, or click the help option for YouTube so you can actually find that share URL immediately. Now, the final thing we're going to do before we actually save everything is scroll to the very, very bottom on here. All right, so we're going to scroll to the very bottom. All right, and once we scroll to the very bottom, here we go. All right, we're going to put inside our email under the email section. All right, so let's put inside our email under this email section on here. All right, so we're going to put in our email under that email section. All right, and then we're also going to check this box that says display profile on KW.com. All right, so we're going to click on display profile on KW.com on here. All right, now we definitely want to make sure our profile displays on KW.com. All right, so that way people can actually search for us. All right. So once that's complete, let's go and click that save option down here. All right, so I'll click save. All right, once we click that save option, it's going to pop up with an exclamation point on here. All right, so it's going to pop up with an exclamation point. All right, and it's going to show whether the associated information was successfully saved or if there were any errors on the page. It's automatically going to give you that exclamation point regardless of whether or not this is correct. So I just want to give you a heads up. All right, so regardless of whether or not it's correct on here. So it's kind of weird how it pops up like that, but I just want to give you a heads up. All right. So the next thing we're going to do, if it does pop up though, just to give you a heads up and says there are errors on the page, just scroll down. It'll actually have it in red as to where those errors were. All right. If I scroll down a little bit further on here, then the next thing we're going to do is make sure that we have our headshot added in. So we're going to look for upload agent photo to make sure our headshot is displaying on here. All right. So make sure that headshot is displaying for us. All right. Now, if your headshot's not displaying, feel free to click the Upload Agent Photo option, and that way you can actually browse for your headshot immediately and attach it on here and upload it, very similar to if you're attaching something over to an email or attaching it to Facebook, all right, different items like that. All right, so once I click Browse on here, all right, then you can actually go find your headshot. I think I might have one under downloads real quick. There we go. So here's my headshot, for instance. So I could just click on it, and I can click upload, and it would automatically upload that headshot immediately. All right, so that's all you'd actually have to do in order to add this in. All right, so that's simple on here. Now you can change this headshot at any time, but this headshot will account for 10%. So I just want to give you a heads up. It will account for 10% on here. All right. Now the final thing we're going to do, and then we're going to take a break before our second part, is at the very, very top up here, we're going to click on the Add Service Area section under City Service Area. All right, so Add Service Area section under City Service Area. All right, so once I click Add Service Areas on here, let me zoom back out real quick. All right, then you can actually come down here and add inside your cities one at a time. All right, so when you add inside the city on here, all right, that's pretty much all you'll have to do. All right, now it will take approximately 24 hours for people to be able to search for you. All right, but in this case, if you actually add inside your city on here, all right, it's pretty cool. Then when someone searches for you on myKW.com, right, it'll actually pop up with your information or your profile when they're searching for that particular city. Now to add inside a city, all you have to do is type inside the city name and click submit on here. All right, so that's all you'll have to do. All right, now if you notice, all the city names will automatically be converted to lowercase. All right, just for, place names are converted to lowercase, they say for searching purposes. All right, so there won't be any capital letters or anything of that sort for the cities on here. I just want to let you know. All right, but that's going to be it for our first part, and that'll help you get up to 100%. So we're going to take about a 3, 4, 5 minute break, and then we'll start right back on our second part. Our second part is going to go over the KW app. It's going to go over the contacts section, the back end of eEdge, and it's going to make sure that you're completely set up and optimized on eEdge for everything to auto-populate on the marketing pieces that'll happen in our third part. All right, so give me a quick second to go grab some water, and we'll be right back in with our second part. All right, but feel free to add inside as many service areas as you'd like to right now.